My name is Alex Relf, and I am an urban forestry technician with Our Community Forestry. Today we are out on the Phoenix Talent Corridor, planting about 86 trees on either side of this highway here to help rehabilitate the area that burned in the Almeda Fire, as well as provide shade and a bit of an arboretum for the folks that, frequent this area as they commute back and forth. And so I think this project is really important because trees provide so much for the community in any aspect, but especially in an area that has seen impacts from recent wildfire. I think that it helps kind of minimize the urban heat island that happens along a highway that's, black asphalt. In the middle of summer, folks walking or riding their bike along this area are going to be a little bit more protected from having these trees here. The trees also benefit the bike path on the other side, allowing, some more shade and just beautifying the corridor as people ride their bikes along. And for the homeowners and business owners that live along this strip, it kind of helps shield the highway from their line of sight. So these trees serve multiple purposes, and I think that this is a very cool project. I also especially love that we're kind of, tying in these two places, Phoenix and Talent, and I look forward to driving this strip of road in the next few years and for all the years to come, and to see the improvement.
My name is Megan. I'm an urban forestry technician with Our Community Forestry. I'm also studying environmental science and policy down at Southern Oregon University. And so being out here on this project is a really exciting opportunity for me. I'm getting to work to plant the trees, and then I'll come back and maintain the trees for the next couple years, and even have the opportunity to image them with LiDAR and calculate their growth rates and above ground biomass. So all of this has been really exciting for me out here on this project. I think that it's really important to advocate as members of this community, that we actually come out here and do the work. I think that we can write into the municipal code canopy cover requirements. We can say trees are important and know that, but without actually putting trees in the ground, we're not doing a whole lot for our ecosystems. So it's really exciting to be out here putting so many trees in the ground along this corridor. I'm along Bear Creek, where hopefully in 10 years or so we'll be casting some more shade on Bear Creek, and trying to rehab that tributary for salmon spawning and a whole wide variety of ecosystem functions. And so the work that Our Community Forestry is doing goes beyond just casting some shade on the road or planting beautiful trees for people to look at. This work is super pivotal for our community, and we hope that our motivation to put trees in the ground echoes through our community and inspires other people to advocate for our ecosystems here.
My name is Mike Oxendine. I'm the founder and director for Our Community Forestry, and we're here in Phoenix, Oregon, doing an amazing project, one of the coolest projects we've ever worked on. We're planting almost 100 trees of 22 different varieties along both sides of a major highway. So this is Highway 99, they call it Bear Creek Drive right here. And they got 7,500 cars a day drive through this stretch. And on the far side, we've got Bear Creek running through. And then on this side, we've got some beaver ponds and some natural wetlands down in here. And these trees that we're putting on both sides of the road are going to grow up and shade the road. They're going to shade Bear Creek, and they're going to shade the beaver ponds and all the wildlife habitat down here. And so just the coolest project we've been able to work on to date. Big trees going in, 22 different species. Half the trees are getting the best maintenance you could think of, like they're getting mycorrhizae, and they're getting organic kelp, and they're getting chicken manure, and they're getting biochar, and all the goodies. And then half the trees are just getting standard maintenance. And we're gonna see over the course of 10 years, how much better do the trees do that are getting all this amazing maintenance that we want to advocate for a young tree's life, for establishment period. And then how much is the growth difference, so the canopy difference. We're going to fly it with LiDAR, and the LiDAR is going to tell us to 2 centimeters how big these trees get over a 10-year period. Every couple of years, we're going to watch that growth. And so we're going to see the standard maintenance versus the creme de la creme maintenance on these trees, and how much difference that canopy is, so that we can actually go to people and say, look, if you plant your trees and you maintain them in this way through the establishment phase of that tree's life, you're going to get X percentage more growth out of that, a more vigorous deciduous tree, more resilient to climate change, more resilient to invasive species and other insects and pressures that they'll get. And so, we're really just trying to plan the best urban forest we can. And this is an area that was devastated by the Almeda Fire in 2020. And it's an ecological hotspot for Phoenix. And it's a huge urban heat island with all this asphalt in here and all these cars every day. And so air quality improvement, stormwater quality improvement, carbon sequestration, heat island mitigation here. So we got all of the amazing things that we strive for in urban forestry happening right here on this site. And we have the funding to actually maintain this properly for the next 10 years. And it's thanks to the Department of Land Conservation and Development grant we got in partnership with the City of Phoenix. So we're just super excited to be here planting trees on this site.
The actual unit is a Hesai XT32, and that's the type of LiDAR sensor that's on here. It's by recipe, and it sends out on average about 1.25 million pulses per second, so it's a really dense point cloud. We don't end up using all those points, but it's good to have all that data. It also has a Sony camera on there to colorize the data, and you can map with it. It's a 24 megapixel camera if you fly a close enough swath, and it just depends what your mission is, how much time you have. But it just attaches right here. And this little GPS antenna goes into that and talks to the base station over there. We're just establishing a control for the whole project, and since it's over the span of 5 years, we'll just be coming back to the same water valve, and we'll set it up on the same point, and we could collect that same point every time with this base station. And it processes, the whole LiDAR point cloud will process off of this. So we have all the trees from Mike and Megan right here on Google Earth. He sent it to me kind of a month ago just so I can see what's going on. And we bring it into Google Earth and we're creating a polygon. And with that polygon, we send it to our drone software and create a flight plan. And from there, we set the parameters and kind of how we want to fly, how high, how close do you want the swaths, etc. Yeah, right now, I'm the pilot in command. We have Megan on the sticks, and it's flying an automated mission above us right now. And so really it's just running a grid over the whole area. And the mission is about 10 minutes, I believe, and I'll keep an eye on it. If something happens, Megan can interfere and stop the mission and bring it back. But right now it's just flying a grid pattern at 80%.
Hi, it's Jordan with Plant Oregon here. We're down here in Phoenix, Oregon, planting trees along the 99. This is a coastal redwood, or Sequoia sempervirens, always living.